Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Jennifer's Tale. My life as a crossdresser. I, of course, am Jennifer, and I want to welcome you to my podcast, my YouTube videos. If you are new to this, chances are you're a crossdresser, just like I am, and you are trying to find resources or tips, tricks, hear other girls' experiences. Whatever the case may be, I'm glad you found this episode. I'm glad you found my podcast. Please do me a favor before anything else. If you're watching this on YouTube, please, right below my picture here, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. There are plenty of episodes that I have done over the past couple years or so about cross-dressing. My life is an open book. I've been cross-dressing for quite some time, and I have a lot of experiences, tips, tricks. I talk about hopes, dreams, desires, thoughts, all sorts of stuff relating to the cross-dressing or, male to female experience. So if you are a cross-dresser or maybe you're a significant other of a cross-dresser, I hope you find this podcast of interest. I hope you check out previous episodes, and thank you for being here. If you're listening to this on audio, whether it be Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all those rules apply to you as well. If you are a cross-dresser, you're new to cross-dressing, you might feel like you're all alone out there. I want you to know, honey, there's plenty of other girls out there just like you and me, and I'm here for you. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. I want you to know that there's others who love and support you and support us. So all those rules apply. Like and subscribe to this podcast wherever you found this one, and new episodes come out every Friday. And let's get into the heart of this episode. Now, I put out a call every once in a while, or I reach out and I was like, please give me topics to talk about on my podcast, things that we want to talk about, or I want to talk about, or questions you may have, things like that. So this is one of the topics that a lovely listener sent in to me. And her question was, can cross-dressing or transitioning ruin your career? Which is a really good question, especially if you're transitioning. It's definitely something that you want to think about before you make any hard or fast decisions, anything like that. Me personally, I'm a cross-dresser. I can't really speak on behalf of the trans woman out there or the trans community, but I can tell you from, girls that I've talked to who are trans and ones who have decided to transition from being a guy into being a girl. As far as ruining your career, it does pretty much now in this day and age. It doesn't really ruin your career. You might have issues. You might have coworkers that might not accept you as the person you're becoming, but there's a lot of people who are very accepting, and chances are, especially if you're in a job where you've been there long term, you probably have a lot of connections and people that you work with, or people that work under you or above you that will support you in your decision, support you in whatever you decide to do with yourself in your life. There's quite a few laws in place now that kind of protect individuals who want to transition from work, so that you cannot be discriminated against or looked down upon or have your job taken away. It doesn't really ruin your career like you think it has the possibility to. Now, if you do some Google searching about maybe some transgender women in big jobs or something like that, you'll probably find a lot of success stories about women who have transitioned and how it hasn't affected their career. Maybe their careers become better. I've listened to podcasts. In fact, I listened to one just recently about a trans woman who she had a really successful career before she decided to transition. And when she decided to transition, it gave her almost a second life in a career, totally different from what she had been doing before, because it allowed her to become, take the skills that she had used before in the job that she had and become an advocate for transgender women and go around and speak to large companies and businesses, because she worked for a bigger, top 100 company. and it kind of gave her a new lease on her work life. So that, there's things like that that are really good. As far as cross-dressing, being a cross-dresser, affecting your job or ruining your career, I really don't see that as the case even in the cross-dressing aspect. Now, I am a cross-dresser. I've been cross-dressing for a long time. And over the past 5 years or so, I've really come to accept my cross-dressing and share it with, friends, relatives, people who are close to me that I wanted to be honest with and show them who I am. And I'm a cross-dresser. I might not look this way all the time, but my feminine side and being Jennifer is part of who I am. And it's something I want kind of out there. And along those lines, in fact, just recently with the current job that I have, over the past year or so, I've shared this with quite a few people that I either currently work with or ones that I have worked with over the past couple of years. I didn't come out to my entire company and say, hey, just so you know, from time to time I like dressing up as a woman and I'm known as Jennifer. But there's been some people I have worked with who, once I got to know them and became friends with them, felt that they would be understanding if I shared this side of my life with them. And so that's what I did. And I can tell you I've had no repercussions, no ill effects. In fact, I work in the retail world, and the company that I work for, I have never gone. I usually work in a particular store, but we have stores all over the place. I have never gone as Jennifer into a store that I currently work at, but I have gone into other stores where either there's workers there who know me as my male self and know me as my female self, or I've been to stores where maybe there's somebody who works there that I worked with previously who didn't even recognize me as Jennifer, just took care of me like they normally would, and no repercussions whatsoever. If once in doing this, when I decided that I wanted to start sharing this with some people that I worked with and let them know about Jennifer and come out to them, I did think about, what might happen, what possibilities are there for things that might go wrong, or, might this get, word get out to the wrong person, maybe that person tells somebody else, next thing you know, my boss or my boss's boss finds out about this, and what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, doing some research about inclusion and that kind of thing with my company anyway, I found out that, they don't discriminate. They're not allowed to discriminate. They are very pro LGBTQ in hiring people and things like that. So when I started all this with sharing it with people that I work with, I felt that if word got out to my boss or my boss's boss and they question me about it or talk to me about it or say, hey, I've heard this, I felt that I was in a safe space where I knew I wouldn't lose my job. I knew that if I did lose my job, I would have a strong case to sue them. But I didn't feel that was going to happen. I still feel, because it hasn't happened yet, that if for some reason somebody found out that I was Jennifer and tried to throw me under the bus or tell somebody else or tell my boss or whatever, that my bosses would support me in who I am and would take care of me and make sure that I was comfortable with them knowing about Jennifer. And it's not like I'm transitioning. It's not like I'm going to start showing up to work looking like this. But I knew that I was in a safe space. And for those of you cross-dressers out there, maybe you are thinking about telling some people at work or sharing things like that. And actually, off the top of my head, I just thought of somebody who is a friend of mine who's a cross-dresser who has come out to people she works with. And she has had no repercussions whatsoever. She told her boss because word happened to slip out. Her boss was very supportive, said, did the wonderful thing of saying, is there anything you need from me? Is there anything I can do to help take care of you, to help you feel comfortable being here at this company and being who you are? And I think I feel with my company too, I would be that way. If my boss came to me and said something about this, or they found out something about this, that they would say, what can we do to help you or make you feel comfortable working here? So to answer the listener's question, there's always that possibility that, if you're transitioning or decide to transition, it could ruin your career. If you're a cross-dresser and you decide to tell some people at work, maybe share a picture of yourself as your femme self, maybe word gets out to the wrong person. But in this day and age, there's so many people who, despite what you think or what the media says or what the people in office and government say right now, there's still a lot of people that care about you, care about us, care about everybody, and will make sure that you are taken care of. So if you have any questions, I would love to hear comments. I would love to hear if you've come out at work or this has happened to you. What were your experiences? What can you tell us? Tell us, the people that watch this podcast or listen to me, what you have experienced. Plenty of ways for you to do that. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can always leave a comment right on this episode. Or if you're listening on, wherever you found this podcast is an audio podcast, feel free to leave a comment on Spotify. You can always leave a comment because that's where I host these audio podcasts. And 2 more easy ways: Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You can do a search for Jennifer's Tale, My Life as a Crossdresser, or you can find my personal Facebook page, which is Jennifer Hangartner, HANGARTNER, that's my Facebook name. And I almost jumped ahead of the gun. Send me an email. Do it the old-fashioned way, or the old-fashioned way, to quote, Jennifer's Tale Podcast at gmail.com. Jennifer's Tale Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it gives you kind of food for thought, things to think about as far as, who do you want to tell? Who do you want to come out to? Do you want to transition? What might happen work-wise? So I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, this is Jennifer saying hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.